Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for another edition of Adam Interviews, where we are talking with folks doing exceptional things in our community. And I am so psyched about this interview because I'm turning the tables. I was interviewed by Maira. What, it got to be 5 years ago now? I went in.
Sure. Yeah. It was longer than that, right? Yeah, it was longer than that.
It's COVID time, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything is just distorted. He and his partner in crime, Shane Allen, the Inner Loop blog. Was that for the Inner Loop blog or was that for the radio? I can't even remember now.
I think let's see. Now, the last time you came in, I don't think I interviewed you, but it was when you were talking about your eyesight stuff, which that's my medical term for it, your eyesight stuff. And that was on Radio 95.1. But before that, you came in when I worked at The Zone.
Yeah, that's right.
Because you were doing the Roast of Rochester.
That's
and
right.
I think we wanted to promote it. We're like, we got to get Adam on stage because he's got those comedy chops.
That's right. Well, that's actually the reason I brought you in here is to ask why I'm not invited to the one tomorrow.
Sure. Yeah.
I was like, what did I say?
Yeah, we got Curtis Jones this time. So yeah.
All right, you get your big deal. But so Roast of Rochester, it is legitimately funny. Is it still the Comedy at the Carlson?
Yes. The only reason I'm here, Adam, is because Comedy at the Carlson has a small room.
Yeah. And
we sold that out last week, and they were like, how about you go to the big room? So now have to do more work and try to sell more tickets.
Gotcha.
So we're going to be at Comedy at the Carlson on Saturday or today, whenever you're listening to this. I don't know, December 6th.
Yeah. You're like, I got to go talk to that Kodak guy.
Yeah.
No, it's legitimately awesome, and it's so funny because when I went, it's called the Roast of Rochester, but to me, it's really a love letter to Rochester in a weird way. I don't know. I just felt like you don't go that far unless you really like this place.
Yeah, it's so I do it with my friend Shane Allen, who runs the Inner Loop blog, and we do the Inner Loop podcast together. And the Inner Loop is just a yearly roast of Rochester, love letter to Rochester, where we're constantly making fun and poking fun at stuff. Recently we got another podcast together called the Topical Fruit Podcast, where we're making fun of national news.
Okay.
And you realize as you're making fun of national news, it's like I have some takes on this, but when you're doing like the Inner Loop, which is Rochester based, or you're doing the Roast of Rochester, which is all Rochester based, you realize like I need 38 years of knowledge to be able to do this. You know what I mean? Which is why I feel like it feels like a love letter. It's because both of us have lived here our entire lives.
Yeah.
Right? And there's jokes that you can only make. It's like when like you can make fun of your sibling, but if somebody else does it, you're like, okay, well, then it's fighting words, right?
Right.
That's how we feel about Rochester, where we can make fun of it, but it's from a loving place because we've been here for way too long.
Yeah, you've heard the stories and everything like that. Is the Mountain Lion going to be part of the Roast of Rochester this year?
Yeah, well, we have Curtis Jones, who he's the guy, what was it, like 5 months ago, that 100% did not see a mountain lion. But he's been lying to us ever since. Like we were all just like did Channel 8 not get on board with this? Because everybody else was interviewing this guy, and I'm going, wait, this guy did not see a mountain lion. Right? Like you guys were too busy talking about house fires, and everybody else was like, get Curtis Jones on to lie to us.
Yeah, so I think we just didn't get him that day. I don't know what it was. We were there at the scene. We just didn't get him, and then afterwards we're like, is this something you could actually go back and get? I mean, can you recreate that? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just felt weird. So
we did find a really funny dude that lives in Rochester, though, which is Curtis Jones. Yeah. Like, he's hilarious, but we did not find a mountain lion.
That is amazing. How did you approach him with this idea?
Well, so when he first did it, it was Radio 95.1, now Rock 95.1. We were doing a show there, and we brought him on because we also sold out and didn't care that he was a liar. And we're like, we need ratings. Yeah. So let's get Curtis Jones on. So I had already reached out to him for that. And I think he just, I don't know, he's on every lawyer's commercial now and endorses electrician companies. So I was like, this dude loves the spotlight. He will 100% do this. So we offered him $50 and he's coming, baby.
It's unbelievable. It's amazing how your life can turn in one day.
Yeah.
Speaking of life turning, I remember asking Lou Graham when I interviewed him, how did you know when did you know you were a singer? And he's like, I was in 6th grade, and my chorus teacher was like, you got some pipes, you know. And then she had then encouraged him. And so I guess when you're growing up in Churchville, when did you kind of realize, like, I got the comedy gift? Or they're not even sometimes people feel it's like a curse, but when did you realize like you just had to tell jokes?
I think everybody in my family is pretty funny. Like all I grew up with there's 5 siblings, and then my parents, and my mom's funny, my dad's, we're all funny people. So it was just something that we were always just kind of like raised that way. But I think it was more of that I just always wanted attention, because before doing any comedy stuff, I was always in bands, like punk bands.
Oh, okay.
On stage. I think in like 5th grade, my sister did dance classes. So I did dance classes because I saw that she was on stage. I was like, well, you're not going to... This is recital isn't all about you, sister.
Exactly.
You know, Mark
I can pirouette with the best of them.
Yeah, Mark needs to get involved. I think Fat Mark needs to be on stage doing jazz hands.
And you did?
Yeah.
Are you a good dancer now?
No, I was terrible. But I needed to be on stage. So I think, I was always funny around my friends. And then getting into like radio and stand-up was just the next progression of needing attention and seeking out attention, essentially.
Yeah. Well, who's Gary Goldman? I went to go see him last year, and he said he had a one-man play called "Look at Me, Mom," and it had his mom just looked up once from the People magazine when he was trying to jump into the pool when he was shouting, "Look at me! He might not have to do this."
Yeah.
Which I thought was hilarious. You know, so I think I've mentioned before when I've talked with people over at Comedy with Carlson, I did an internship in high school at Comics Cafe in Henrietta, and Mark, who's at Comedy at the Carlson, was actually there at the time. We just didn't know the connection until last year. And to a person, Tiny Glover was there. I don't know if you ever ran into Tiny, but he was a big stand-up guy back in the 90s. He passed away. But to a person after they got off stage, I said, you know, because I was thinking about, I obviously like performing in some respect. They were like, don't do this. Like that was the one piece of like solid advice.
Don't be a stand-up?
Don't be a stand-up comedian. It's just a really hard life, the travel and whatnot. And so I don't know if you feel lucky in the sense that you got to scratch that itch while staying in Rochester, unless maybe you did hit the road for a while. I'm not sure.
No, I have performed outside of Rochester, but that was never anything I did. I think it's, if you notice, all right, so like Jonah Hill, right? Or let's say even Lizzo, like these like bigger people that become famous. And like Lizzo especially was just like, I love being a big girl. It's kind of like part of her personality. And then she became very famous and became skinny. And that's the same thing with every actor. If they're a bigger person, they become famous and they become skinny because that's like, oh, this is how I get roles and this is how I do stuff. I feel like it's the same thing with stand-up, where once you become big, you stop doing the stand-up.
Yeah.
Because you're like, this was just a means to an end. And now I'm where I kind of want to be.
Yeah.
Because it seems grueling to go out, and I know I couldn't do it, where I'm just like, and nobody's asking me to do it anyways, but to go out and do stand-up on the road. I think it's mostly, I'm a coward. So I never did anything where I took a leap where it's like, I'm going to move to New York City. I'm going to move to LA. I'm going to move to, one of these big comedy hubs and really try. So I just got into local radio and did some local stand-up. That way, if I failed at it, I'm still home. I still got every safety net. And now at this point, I have a wife and 3 kids, so I'm not doing anything. It's over,
Yeah, well, I mean, who knows, right? But at the same time, I wonder if it, you joke about it being a coward. I wonder if it's also that you knew it, in the deep down, you knew what it would take. You knew what life would look like to some extent. And you just decided, I don't want that. Like, I want to be around my funny family.
Yeah,
Again, I think it's sometimes you see, like, you're going to do the same stuff no matter where whether I'm in LA, Rochester I'm going to do local news, and it's the same stuff. So it's like, where do you want to be? And I don't know if now that you've had time to reflect on it, are you happy you made that choice? Like, where you didn't go?
I mean, I was, I think what I want out of this is I get to, my day is filled with the jobs that I have, is filled with doing stuff that I want to do, which is write comedy or be on the radio, be on Rock 95.1, be on Fox Sports 1280, do the Interloop, do comedy. and then be able to see my kids and hang out with my wife and live my life. And also the other thing I want is for people to recognize me and tell me how great I am. And I get that in Rochester. So, it's like,
Exactly.
I mean, if I get outside of Rochester, nobody knows who I am, but there's a couple of 19-year-olds that have no friends that know who I am, which is nice.
In like Binghamton.
Yeah. They're around.
No, I totally get that. The anonymity 60 miles out is
Yeah, that's
perfect.
nice.
And the Interloop blog is the perfect way to keep it that way because no one will understand the references in
yeah.
Watertown. So.
we can't expand it. Yeah.
Yeah, but you've done national work. I don't know if you still do it. I vaguely remember you telling me that you used to do bits, I don't know if there were ads or stuff like that, for a national business or commercial or something like that.
Yeah, so my main job outside of local radio and the Interloop or anything like that or any stand-up is that I write comedy and create bits for morning shows, radio morning shows, because it's a pretty insane job. We're like so every city has their different local morning radio show, and what you'll learn is that this is for real. I'm not lying to you, Adam. People in radio are terrible. Okay, they're bad at their jobs. Okay. So what they need is every day they get all the stories and all the jokes and all the bits written out by people like me.
Even even at like mid-sized markets?
Small markets, New York City, mid-sized, every market, the company that I work for uses us.
Are you allowed to be telling us this right now?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to get you in trouble.
No, it's our literal business model.
Okay.
And so every morning they wake up and they rub their little eyes and they look at the jokes that we write for them and stories and that we outline for them. So I think what's the coolest thing that I love stand-up and I love being able to perform in front of people. I love being on the radio, and there's a bunch of accomplishments that I've had that I find it like this is crazy. We sold out this room or anything like that. But the craziest thing to me is I've written jokes and I've created bits that essentially every single radio station in the United States and Canada have played, which means that probably close to on one morning, 80 million people listen to something that I wrote. And I live in Churchville in a Cape Cod that has 1,700 square feet. Okay, I've made content that more people have listened to. Like Ryan Seacrest uses our content.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah, and I get paid so little, Adam, so little for what I do. But I think that's a pretty cool accomplishment that I can hang my hat on. Just nobody. It's I'm just the person in the background doing it.
Yeah, and if the end goal is just to make people feel better for a minute and laugh, But two things. One, that's not a great argument against consolidation.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. And the other thing I want to point out to all of the people who think that I'm just a corporate hack, this is not how it works in news. I do not get Mark Maira right.
Wait. Let me call news out for a second, though.
Yeah.
I'll say it's the equivalent of, because sometimes Jimmy Kimmel makes fun of you guys.
Yeah.
Where he'll play clip after clip of you guys being like, Sandy the squirrel was acting a little nuts, right?
So, okay, all right.
What are those?
I will say that. So we do have these little readers that we do, like the Consumer Reports and stuff like that. And whenever there's a catchy, because we can't write everything, and nor do we keep track of some of the national headlines. So we will get stuff from CBS or News Nation, which is the Nexstar 24/7 thing, or the AP.
Yeah.
The AP is the big one. We'll grab a script from there. And when there is a catchy first line, my main goal in life is not to be on Kimmel. I will even if it's a great line. Wow, that was actually pretty. I will change it.
I'll defend the radio stations across the country though.
Yeah.
Because we're not creating their entire show. They use our service for 30% of their show, and hopefully the goal is that 70% of their show would be local to their market. And then we're just helping them out with the rest of it when, it's 9:30 and they've eaten too many donuts and they're like, I'm tired. I'm going to just play a bit that Mark made, Oh,
and it also is a launching pad. So you might have an idea to talk about a certain promotion that someone's doing, and isn't that funny? And then they can take it wherever they want to go.
Yeah.
So they don't have to scour the internet every morning.
Brother Weeze, who I used to work with, he would make fun of me because it was great because he'd make fun of me for writing for this service that he would use a lot. And he would talk about how bad it was. And I would tell him, even if you look at it and you make fun of it for 15 minutes on the air, I've just filled 15 minutes of your time. So you could talk about how bad it is. You know, whatever use it is for you, use it. That's how I think about it.
I mean, that must keep you pretty busy, though, like paying attention to the different headlines and looking at little minor sources that a lot of the national folk aren't seeing.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a team of 12 of us nationwide that are doing it from our houses. So it's not like I have my lane, you know, that I worry about, and you know, I'm not looking for country news. That's somebody else doing that.
Yeah. Now, what's your lane?
My lane is I get stupid news clips, and I write kind of like sketch bit material and parody songs and things like that.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, that's fun. It's not bad.
Do your kids, how old are your kids now?
I have an 11-year-old, a 10-year-old, and an 8-year-old.
So they know what you do, right? Like, do they care?
Do they care?
Like, in the sense that, like, my son doesn't. I mean, he's just like, he's 14. He's just kind of like,
My 11-year-old, her name's Luna. She is, she has the same disease where she needs attention. And she's riding my coattails. And any teacher that has listened to me on past shows, radio shows, she brings it up constantly. She wants people to know that she's also famous. We had an appliance repairman come in to fix a dishwasher who had listened to a show that I was on in the past, and he told my kids that they were also famous, which is the worst thing he could have done. Right. He really ruined the week for me. So yeah, they fully embrace it. This isn't one of those things where they're embarrassed by it. They fully embrace it, and they want me to be doing this. So.
Yeah, you know, you've given me a little bit of comfort because I've obviously haven't loved the disinterest on the part of my son, but maybe it's actually the result of him being a normal person.
Sure. Yeah. He doesn't have the disease.
So I'm like, this is great. I remember in like second grade, we got a call from his teacher, and they had gone around the room and did the famous, like, what does your dad or mom do? And people were like, oh, doctor or teacher. And it gets to my son, and he goes, my dad drinks beer. So the teacher thought that was so funny.
Yeah, do we need to talk about this?
Exactly. But seriously.
For real though.
How much Judy? So again, just as a little side note here, because we got about 10 minutes left. Right. The only reason Mark is here is because he has to sell tickets to Roast of Rochester 2025. When is it, by the way, tomorrow?
It's at 7.
Okay.
Tomorrow, Saturday, December 6th at Comedy at the Carlson. It's going to be me and Shane Allen from the Inner Loop blog/podcast. And a couple of local comedians, and Curtis Jones is going to be on stage. I should probably talk to him. We haven't figured out what we're doing on stage with him. I think we bring him on and have him roar a couple times. It'll be good. But I think this might be our 5th or 6th one that we've done, and yeah, I'm excited.
So I was part of the. I don't even know, was it the first one, second
or third one? Yeah.
I mean, it's funny. It's very engaging, and again, people who have lived here, it's a different type of comedy because it's in your blood.
Yeah.
To kind of laugh at where we live and
100%. Yeah, it's a fun time. It's you know, it's not straight up stand up. We're gonna go through the year in review of the funniest news stories and stuff, and play clips, and it's it's a good time.
And can people buy tickets when they get there? Can they buy them online? How does that work?
I will buy them online. We've had so like I said, my buddy Shane Allen, who does the Inner Loop blog with me, and I say with me, it's his.
Is it really?
I get all the credit for it.
Yeah.
Like, people talk to me about how great the Inner Loop blog. Like, he 100% owns the corporate LLC to it. Like, I do nothing. But I take all the credit.
Yeah,
so his mom once came to the Roast of Rochester, and it was sold out. And she came and she didn't have a ticket, and she tried to get in, and Mark Ippolito, who runs the comedy club, was like, yeah, it's sold out. And then she pulled like the "Do you know who I am?"
Good,
which is which is good for Shane.
The mom, like, that's the only time
it's
that's
good for Shane.
It's good for Shane. By the way, you and Shane, the argue. I mean, you guys are funny, just kind of like with the jokes. But when you guys argue and you don't agree on something, that's when I find myself like laughing out loud. And then you go so hard at Shane, like just like. It becomes so personal.
I am such a Shane Allen supporter, and I think that Rochester, New York is worse off that he has a platform, but he doesn't. There's a thing where, especially people that went to school for media and communications or whatever, and locally, Like when you have a legitimate platform like Channel 8 or, iHeartMedia or something, you feel like, oh, okay, I'm here, I'm doing what I'm doing, and he doesn't have that. He's not in radio anymore, and it's such a shame.
It really is.
Every radio station in Rochester is dropping the ball by not having him. Even like, you haven't picked him up part-time? Are you guys nuts?
I know, and he's developed such a personality, such a character. No, he is unbelievably funny, and I just love it. So has there ever been an argument that you guys got in that afterwards you're like, wow, I'm still kind of mad at you right now?
At Shane?
Or has it always been just always kind of for the comedy of it?
I don't know if I've ever been too mad at him ever. He's really bad at just like, if I text him, I can see, he has it set up where I can see that he's read it. And then he doesn't message me back for like 3 hours. And I'm like, you effing read it, dude. Like, just message me back. No,
but he's Shane.
No, we don't. We don't really argue that much. We're not. I think I'm broken where I don't create deep relationships with people. Outside of like my family. So Shane and I are friends, but it's not like he can't hurt my feelings.
Right. He's not like
that deep.
He's not the brother who can actually touch that chord. No, that's amazing. So where you said 95.1. Where can people hear you?
So I'm currently now, I've killed so many radio shows. I'm currently now 6 p.m. to midnight on Rock 95.1, which is a new station that's a rock station. And then I'm on from noon until 2 with John DiTullio on Fox Sports 1280. I know very little about sports.
See, but I find that we have someone in the in-house who's very funny and does that too. I'm like, I will listen to you talk about sports before anybody else.
Does
DiTullio how does he work with that? Because he actually does want to talk about sports.
He 100%. I think noon to 2, it's a sports station, so there's plenty of, Dan Patrick's on, and Colin Cowherd's on. So all day you can hear the sports. I think what we want to just do is have a show from noon until 2 that's, we're talking about sports, but it's Rochester based and it's just like for guys and just talking guy stuff in Rochester and keeping it local. So it's not completely a sports show. Not taking anything away from John, obviously. John DiTullio is a sports guy and stuff.
But it's entertainment.
It's just an entertainment show.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So here's a question for you. Again, it's a kind of a broad one that a lot of comedians get asked, but you've been in it for so long. What is comedy, and when does it pass into just offensive? Where it's just, is it? I've always kind of thought it's the intent, that's tough. It's a very vague area, but like, is someone intending just to be mean, or are they intending to be funny? I guess, but you're living that life. So what are your thoughts on that?
Oh God. And take my pause as not me like trying to find the right answer. I don't care about like at least I think as I've gotten older, I'm not like super old, but like at 38, I just I want people to like enjoy themselves. I don't think I'm censoring myself ever. I generally want people to enjoy themselves. Whatever I'm saying.
I will say this: there in no way do I think you can be offensive, because I think everything that you do generally is just for fun. It's for the joke. But there are times when I see someone, I'm like, boy, I just don't think you're trying to be funny right now.
Yeah, there's that. I think my thing is always to, and it's like the oldest rule is to punch up. So let's say you're using, not that I use these words a lot, or it's any part of like my style of stuff, especially being on broadcast radio, you can't really swear. And there's FCC rules that we're living by. And then also with the inner loop, it's obviously way more uncensored, but if we want to put a clip on TikTok or Instagram and we want it to do well, you can't have a lot of material. Like,
oh, that's interesting.
AI reads it and then goes, what's that? You're poking fun at meth? Well, we're not going to.
I didn't know that.
Right? So they'll do that. So there's censorship everywhere if you want to be successful in it. My general thing is I don't use those words, but if you're using, like, let's say an offensive word, or you're kind of poking fun on like territory that might be a little edgy, but you're punching up and you're trying to help people that need help, or you're trying to point out something of like an injustice, I think people are fine with that.
Yeah.
I think generally people will be like, maybe it's not for them, but they'll generally be fine with it. If you are using offensive language or you're just going after people that need help or are, maybe don't have like all the privilege that you have, I think people are gonna be like, "What are you doing? Why are you?"
Yeah.
It's like picking on a 5-year-old. Why are you picking on a 5-year-old right now? It's why like every like teenage punk music is about like screw my parents,
Yeah.
right? They have all the power.
Right.
They're the ones in charge. You know, you don't want to have punk music where you're just like, I'm sick of poor people being around. That's not fun. That's not entertaining to listen to. So I think that's the context. Is what's your point? You know, what are you aiming at?
And then I think almost anything's you're good to go in that realm.
And generally, like, I'm not the type of. I'll say what's on my mind. I don't feel like I need to. I don't feel censored by anybody from iHeart to, the Interloop to Shane. I don't feel censored by anybody at all. But I think where was I going with this? I don't feel censored, but at the same time, I'll point out how I feel about things. But at the same time, I like just kind of goofy humor. That's just humor for the sense of humor, and that's a lot of what the Interloop is. A lot of what the Roast of Rochester is. Interloop isn't something where we're raging against something. We literally posted a meme about how we are currently salting the streets with everything bagel spices from Wegmans. You know what I mean? Yeah. What the hell are we talking about? Exactly. It's meaningless. It's just funny just for the sake of funny.
And it's very self-deprecating too, and things like that, which I always appreciate. Last thing, and I got to go, the Roast of Rochester, again, I love laughing at ourselves. You made it the point off the top of the show, which is, we can do it, but don't anybody else. There are people who like hate Rochester and not like in a fun way. And I'm like, why? Like, first of all, I've lived in a lot of places. There's always this group that like
hates Rochester.
Like, how do you hate Rochester?
How do you know who we are?
Or it's people who live here and they just hate, like, I can't believe I have to live in Crapchester.
If you want to take this is the most negative view I have of Rochester. And it's like on a day-to-day how I feel about it is like, as you get older, I guess when I'm 17, 18, it's like, oh, I hate Rochester. I want to get out of here. I want to leave for college. And I think that's part of just being a 17-year-old.
Sure.
But then when you end up being a 38-year-old with 3 kids and a wife, and you're at a house in Churchville and you're living it, it's like Stockholm syndrome where you better start effing liking it, bro, because you're getting buried like 2 miles from this house. So you better enjoy it because you got one life. And so I think you should really take that, like, on the most negative way, on most negative day, that's how you should view it is I'm stuck here. Might as well make the best. Well, we've actually done a Roast of Ithaca where we've gone and made fun of other towns.
Yeah.
And I think the best thing that we did was about your hate of Rochester. We went to Ithaca and we just made fun of Rochester.
There you go.
And they were like, yeah, we get it. We get that you guys suck.
Well, you know what? You and Shane and the whole crew there, you're part of the landscape here, and you do make it a fun place to live. So thank you for that.
Yeah, and so is the Twitter. That's Adam Chodek's tie. Wasn't that a Twitter for a while?
Was that you?
No. Please.
Come on. I've been trying to figure out who did that for so long.
I promise that wasn't me.
Right,
Don't worry, Twitter's dead. It doesn't matter anymore.
Exactly. I haven't given it much thought. So anyway, Mark, Maira, you are going to be Roast of Rochester 2025 tomorrow, 7 p.m. Comedy at the Carlson. Buy online. That's going to be your best bet because even Shane's mom can't get in.
Yeah, right.
But thank you very much for talking with me today. I
Thanks,
appreciate it. All right. Mark Maira giving us some of his time. Unwillingly, but he has to sell tickets. So we want to thank him. You can go online. We're going to post an article. It should be up by now over at rochesterfirst.com. Tell your friends and family about the Rochester First streaming app as well. And we want to thank you, as always, for stopping by. And we hope you have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Take care. Have a great weekend.
Get the Rochester First streaming app today for everything you love from News 8 On Demand, plus exclusive shows you won't see anywhere else. Search ROC and download for free on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.